First things first, thank you, I do look good today. We're gonna talk about stupid things you did as kids. No green screen feels weird because if I touch my butt, you can see it in the reflection. This is probably one of my most shameful moments actually, and this is true. I'm a young kid. I am like one of the really good kids. Like I don't get in trouble. I'm running next to this girl. She's the tiniest girl in the class, and I was a big kid at the time. I'm not anymore. I think to myself, I could trip her. You probably shouldn't. But then the other side of me is like, yeah, but you could. I'm a tripper. We're going. And I look over at her and I stick my foot out and I trip her and she falls. And I just kept on going. And I was like, I didn't think she'd actually fall. I get back to my class and she comes up to me and she's crying. And all these kids are like, Zach just tripped her. And I was like, no, I didn't. And everyone's like, yeah, I literally watched you do it. She came up to me and she's like, Zach didn't do it, guys. I promise. He did not trip me. And she walked inside, got medicine, and I didn't get in trouble. And I just stood there. You know I tripped you. You just covered for me. That was like the most bad thing I've ever done in my entire life. Guys, I can't sleep at night from this. What is the dumbest thing you ever did as a kid? My shining moment was when I was 4. I put floaties on my feet and jumped into a pool thinking I could walk on water, and I almost drowned. That is probably one of the dumbest things I've ever heard in my entire life. So congratulations, mother of Doggins. You can see the logic. Like as a little kid, you're like, it keeps me above the water, so then I could just stand on it with my feet and walk on it. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. So like, I don't fault her. You know, someone made fun of me crying, so I went home and put L'Oreal No Tears shampoo in my eyes. That is, I mean, like the kids are smart. Seriously, like this is not a stupid thing to do. I do this all the time. I do cry a lot though. Maybe that's why. I went skiing in Colorado with my family when I was like 11. My brother kept falling and was taking forever. Decided to go ahead without waiting on them. Took a wrong turn, went down a diamond slope and ended up in a different town on another side of the mountain. When you're 11 years old, that is scary. Even now, as a 24-year-old man, I'm getting old, guys. Like I said, like I'm not a young guy anymore. There's still things like if I did that, I'd be freaked out at 24. At 11, dude, you're gonna be crying the whole way down. Loverfella, you're wearing a green shirt on a green screen. What's gonna happen? Oh yeah. I moved the hands on the clock forward so Sesame Street would start sooner. I mean, guys, these things make sense. I'm about to do that right now because I'm about to try to go to bed soon. So time, just gonna move that an hour. Oh my gosh, tricked you guys. You see that? I pretended like it worked and it didn't. When I was 4, a skunk was on my porch. I thought it was a cat. Opened up the door and the thing actually came in. Mom freaked out. So did the skunk, spraying everywhere, including both of us. That is something that actually happened to me once. So I'm sitting at home. I don't have contacts and I can't see without them. I'm literally blind. And I see my cat trying to get inside. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna let you in. Come on, Scratch. Very great name for a cat, right? I go to let him in and I reached out and I open up the door. Freaking like 200-pound raccoon. I didn't know they came that big. It was like the size of a bear. And he just looked at me and he like walks in, looks at some like crumbs on the ground, like eats it, and then just walks back out. I was like, did I just see a tame raccoon walk in my house? Like that was the weirdest thing. No one believes it, all right? No one saw that happen, but I'm telling you, that happened. Like that was recent, like 3 or 4 years ago. It's still out there, man. There's big fat raccoons. Maybe it was a bear. I wasn't old enough to bake cookies, so I'd chew up bread, form it into a cookie, put peanut butter and sprinkles on the top, and sell them to my friends for a quarter. Ew. I finally told one of them the recipe and felt so bad. I gave her a full plate for free and she still ate them. Maddie, you're an evil genius. Congratulations. That's the kind of thing you'd see a YouTuber do in a video and then get like a whole bunch of hate for it. Someone did this with Oreos and like toothpaste, but like that is so gross. Get so creative, man. So that's the entrepreneur. We got Gary Vaynerchuk over here. Congratulations, Maddie. When I was 3, I mashed an entire stick of butter on the dining room table in the middle of the night and woke my parents up by whispering, the butter is mashed in their ear. Like that's scary. You're a mom and your kid comes up to you and says that and you walk in the kitchen and you see smashed butter. What do? You just leave. I'm done. You're not my kid anymore. That's way too scary. I love it. I'm gonna do that sometime. I'm gonna do that. The crowning achievement was when I was 7. I stuck a pair of scissor blades into a socket in my classroom. The entire street went into a blackout. Surprised that kid didn't get hurt from it. Like that's dangerous, kids. Don't do it. All right, don't do it. Safety fella's back again. All right. Whoa, what time is it, guys? I'll be right back. Wow, Loverfella, I love that shirt on you. It looks so good. Thank you, common peasant, for complimenting me like that. I appreciate that. You can just buy this on www.loverfella.com. Right, back to our regular programming. When I was 5, I stuck beads up my nose to be like the big kids who had piercings, which had to be surgically removed. A week later, I pierced my nose with a staple gun, more surgery, used permanent markers to cover myself in tattoos to go with my super cool pierced nose. No, that's an edgy kid right there. Isaac, if you're watching this, shout out, bro. He did stupid things as a kid, and I still to this day don't know why, because he was kind of old when he did them, but I still have this memory of him taking a big rock and just shoving it up his nose, like really far, and then he just started crying, and he's like, Mom, there's a rock in my nose. She's like, yeah, you just stuck it up in there. He's like, yeah, but it won't come out. You know how we got it out? Pepper. She literally took pepper and put it on his nose and he sneezed it out. Did you know that would work? It's like from a movie. When I was 8, I tried to reheat a Sonic grilled cheese deluxe in the microwave. For those of you who don't know, Sonic wraps their food in thin wax-lined foil paper. I watched my grilled cheese combust for about 8 seconds before I calmly told an adult, hey, the microwave blew up. Whatever, we all gotta do it. I still do it. I'm an adult. I like to hear myself as I speak because I've got a very sexual voice. When I was like 6, my mom was giving me a bath and she had to leave the room for a second, so she told me not to leave the bath under any circumstance, so I didn't. Not even when I farted and a turd came out and floated with me. Can you imagine doing that? Like just sitting in a tub and your mom's like, don't leave. And you're like, okay, fine. I'm going to listen. Like, I'm going to be good tonight. You just literally poop. And you're like, well, I picked a bad night to be good, Mom. I really did. What is your mom going to say? Like, thanks for staying? Like, thanks for sitting in your room. I found a dead bird during recess and kept it in my pocket for an entire day of school, thinking I could take it home and have a new pet. My mom was doing laundry that day and emptied out my pockets and screamed when she felt a miniature beak. That's sad. Speaking of sad, let me tell you about this little tiny baby bunny that I found outside of my parking lot today. It was this big. I've never seen anything cuter in my life. I named it Rupert, picked him up and put him in the grass. Although I guess he's so small he could have been eaten by like a worm, to be honest with you. Going for that half green screen look. I don't know what you're gonna do with that, Joao. When I was in preschool, I took off my clothes for no reason. Literally just got naked in the hallway and they called my parents, who then had to sit and talk to me about why we don't take off our clothes in school. Just getting naked. Like, you know what? It's time. Let's do this. That's good. I feel so free. You know, that's great. That's good confidence, Drew. Congratulations, my friend. I locked myself in a dryer because I wanted to see if it would rock back and forth. But when I got in, it didn't move, so I thought I had to close the door, and I did, and I couldn't get out. That's terrifying. There's nothing funny about this. That's my biggest fear. I can get a little claustrophobic because as a kid, again, true story, one of the most scarring issues of my entire life. I think about this a lot because as a kid, this was horrifying. My parents, they were working a lot, so I had to go to this babysitter, and she was really bad, and her kid was super mean to me. He was like 5 years older and he picked on me and bullied me a lot. He took these big buckets that you would like store your laundry in, and then he would put me in the bucket and then sit on the bucket, and then he would keep me there for like an hour, and I would just cry in the bucket because I wasn't strong enough to get out, and I am so claustrophobic. Oh, that hurt. I will never forget that, man. You don't know how scary it is when you are like 4 years old and you're freaking getting beat up, trapped in a box. I don't even know what that kid's name is, but man, I hate you, whoever you are. I know my babysitter's name, but that's not very intimidating, is it? I'm 5'6". Look at this. I put grocery bags on our arms and tried to parachute off the second-story roof of our house. Got caught by the neighbor before we jumped, and we were 4 and 5. Oh my gosh, you almost killed yourself, Sabrina. We're done here. I don't know how I could be so